Hello, I'm Tan Hong Ling, and this is for my assignment on Foundation of Early Childhood Education, number 2. It says here, am I an early childhood professional? Yes, I am. And on the philosophy, what is a philosophy? It is on general knowledge, reflection, personal experience, and belief. So today I'm going to share with you on my philosophy, 5 of them, which is number 1, passionate about the profession, which is being a teacher, connected with children. Number 3, knowledgeable on theories and approaches. 4, being an effective facilitator. And lastly, a good communicator. My teaching philosophy, number 1, would be firstly, passionate about the profession. Now we've got to be passionate on being a teacher, and that it will be to know that being in early childhood education, it is very important, especially for the brain development of the child, physical development of the child, and it's a foundation to higher education for each child, to molding children's character and their behavior. And secondly, why am I passionate about being in this line is I want to upgrade also my qualification, and likewise I'm taking this ECE diploma with PACE ECE University because I want to upgrade my qualification on early childhood. And thirdly, to attend specialized training, workshop, seminar or forum. Now, to be passionate about the children, we have also to be actively involved in the Early Childhood Council or the association. Mainly now would be ECE Council of Malaysia or the Persatuan Tadika Malaysia. Hopefully by being involved in all this, it will sort of create to prepare you in what is to come in the early childhood education. My second philosophy, and the most important one, is to be connected with the children. In order to know about each child, we have to have some knowledge on child's development. Mainly 5 of them, which is physical, intellectual, language, social, and emotional. Now, for physical development, we have the gross motor skills, fine motor skills, hand-eye coordination, and handling of things. Secondly, we will know about the intellectual development of the child, which is cognitive, creative, imagination, and problem solving. Thirdly, to know about the child is to know their language development. They have the verbal, non-verbal, expression, and interaction with one another. And then we have the social development, which helps the child in the communication with one another, interaction, interpersonal skills, and friendship among their peers. And lastly, we have the emotional development, which is very important in building the child's self-esteem, their self-understanding, and also helping them with the self-help skills and the moral values within them. Understanding the child comes next, of how we are connected with the child. Now each child, they are active learners, some are self-learners, some are intrinsically motivated. When we know all this type, we will be able to connect with them. And lastly, there are 3 types of learners. Kinesthetic learners, they learn with physical and practical hands-on activity, whereby the visual learners, they need the charts and graphics stimulation. Lastly, the auditory learners, they learn by listening and discussion. So hopefully, with all of this, we sort of covered how to be connected with the children. My third philosophy would be being knowledgeable on theories and approaches. Now I've covered some of the main one, which is mainly Piaget's theory on cognitive development, when he says children's thinking processes develop in an orderly sequence and series of stages. Right? And we have also the Vygotsky social cultural theory, which says scaffolding a child's skill and knowledge to a higher level and zone of proximal development from the known to the unknown skills, guided by a teacher or a knowledgeable peer. And thirdly, we have the Montessori theory, whereby she says children learn at their own pace, whether individually or in a group. Now, learning apparatus in Montessori learning environment are specifically designed, they are self-correcting and sensory oriented, and lastly, organized sequentially. And lastly would be Howard Gardner multiple intelligence approaches. Howard Gardner says children should be exposed to their 8 different areas of intelligence. Now it covers the word, which is language, logic thinking, picture smart, body, which is kinesthetic, music smart, people smart, and self smart. Now all of this has covered. Now when we know all the theories and approaches, we will then be what I call it my 4th philosophy. We will be an effective facilitator. Now to be an effective facilitator, we have firstly implement the principles of the developmentally appropriate practices, which is also known DAP, whereby lessons and activities based on children's abilities, interests, and it matches their developmental level, right? So when we plan, when we teach, we will begin to plan according to these needs. Secondly, we'll set up learning corners which promotes exploration, discovery, and experimentation for the children, which covers Nature's Corner, Science Corner, Sampling, Pet Corner, Book Corner, Water Play, Art Corner, and Sensorial Corner. With all these learning corners, it will definitely create the intricacies, the creativity in them, and they would love to come to the center. Now, thirdly, we should plan and age-appropriate activities, whereby include indoor, outdoor activity, or it could be active play or quiet play, whether it's teacher-directed or free choice, or gross and fine motor skills. Right? When we plan this according to their age, they will be able to learn more effectively. Now, fourthly, I would believe we should use age-appropriate teaching apparatus. Covers blocks, puzzles, balls, big blocks, puppets, and beads. Of course, there are more things where we can actually use as well. Now, my last teaching philosophy will be to be a good communicator. In order to be a good communicator, we have to establish communication with the children, the school, the parents, and the community. Now, how do we do that? Now, communication with children, basically, we can have a time when we tell story, during discussions or lessons, or during circle time, where we encourage the children to have open-ended questions and encourage them to talk and communicate with the teacher and among their peers. Secondly is communication with the school. Now, I would believe that every school has their own mission, statement, or their philosophy. And being a teacher, I should actually embrace and actually develop with them, practice what they have stated in their mission statement. And one would be to develop curriculum based on a child-centered activity. Secondly, to establish and maintain a safe and healthy and secure environment for every child. Thirdly, it would be the most important, communication with parents. I believe we need to strengthen and improve the communication with parents, and so that whatever the child is behaving or happens in school, the parents are aware of it. And how well to communicate is by planning these activities which involve the parents, such as parents-teachers meeting, parenting seminars on topics that is relevant to them, or parenting forum, occupational talks with children, whereby the parents come and begin to talk to the children on their occupations, such as police, nurse, or doctors, or even we can have the first aid course for the parents on how to administer first aid at home with the child when there's an emergency. And lastly, there will be an outing which will actually help strengthen the relationship between the teachers, the children, and the parents when they go out for an outing. Right. And lastly, it will be communication with the community, whereby the teacher plays an important role to actually expose the child in teaching them how to communicate to children that is from other races or from other different religions or cultural background. This will actually inculcate the spirit of unity, tolerance, love, and loyalty to our country. And finally, if a teacher should aspire to be an active listener, a demonstrator, role model, communicator, encourager, and an observer when they come in everyday dealing with the child that's placed under their care. So I think I've covered all of it, and those are my 5 teaching philosophies. Thank you.